All right, Geo students, Mr. Lamb, and this is the last video for your review for the second attempt at unit number 6. And question number 10 says, quadrilateral PQRS has the vertices using parts A, B, C, D to answer the following questions. Justify your answer with each response. A lot of typos in those directions, I just noticed. All sorts of typos. So first thing we're going to do is it says determine whether A, B, C, D. We call them PQRS. I don't care what those things are. Understand there are some typos here. I'm going to get down to the meat and potatoes of what this question is after. So I'm going to call them PQ, R, and S. So -4, 0 is P. 4, 3 is Q. 7, -5 is R. And -1, -8 is S. All right, so that is P, Q, R, S. And then problem number 1, it says determine whether this thing is a parallelogram. Well, if I'm going to find parallelograms, for me, I like to go with the slopes. So I want to pick my first side, PQ, and I'm going to compare that to the bottom, which I'll call SR. I want to look at PQ and SR. So let's find the slope of PQ first, from P to Q. It looks like I rise 3 and I run 8. So rise 3, run 8. That does not reduce. It has a slope of 3/8. Let's go from S to R. From S to R, I am going over 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going up 1, 2, 3. So from S to R, it has a rise going up 3. It has a run going to the right 8. So 3/8. These two things are the same. They are parallel. Okay, now I'm going to look at my left and my right. That left side is going to be PS, and the right side is going to be QR. Let's find the slopes from P to S. I have to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going to the right, 3. So my rise down 8 is -8 over the run, which is going to the right 3, which is a positive 3, -8/3. From Q to R, I'm going to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going straight down 8. So the rise is down 8, which is -8. The run is to the right 3, which is positive 3. So look at these. They have the same slope. These two things are, in fact, parallel. So the question is this thing a parallelogram? Yes, it is. Why? Because both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Yes, it is a parallelogram. All right, the next step, part B, says determine whether this thing is a rectangle. Well, now I don't need opposite sides. I need a pair of consecutive sides, any pair of consecutive sides, and I'm going to look at the 2 from my chart above. And I'm still going to look at the slopes here because I'm looking for opposite reciprocals. So let me show you the 2 pieces I'm looking at. I'm going to steal SR for a second. So SR had a slope of 3/8. And PS had a slope of -8/3. And I just look at these 2 values and I ask myself, are they perpendicular? Are they opposite reciprocals? Well, one is positive and one is negative, so they're opposite. One is 3/8, the other is 8/3, so they are reciprocals. These are opposite reciprocals, so these 2 things are, in fact, perpendicular. And by definition, if you have a parallelogram, which we do, that has at least one right angle. It has 4 right angles. So is this a rectangle? Yes. Yes, it is. It is absolutely a rectangle. All right, part C says, is it a rhombus? Okay, in order to be a rhombus, I need distances. I need to look at distances. All right, so I'm going to kind of scroll up here. Look at my red ones again, PQ and RS. So PQ has a distance. The square root. From P to Q, it goes up 3 and over 8. So 3 squared is 9, 8 squared is 64. 64 plus 9 is 73. That is radical 73. From S to R. From S to R, it's over 8 and up 3. Square root of 8 is 64. Square root of 3 is 9. 64 plus 9 is 73. So my 2 red sides are parallel and they're also congruent. I knew that because I know it's a parallelogram. All right, PS is the next one. PS. And P to S goes down 8, 8 squared is 64, goes over 3, 3 squared is 9, 64 plus 9 is 73. And my last one, QR. From Q to R goes over 3, and 3 squared is 9. Goes down 8, 8 squared is 64, 9 plus 64 is 73. So it is the square root of 73. So I look at all 4 of these. They are all the same length. So that means all 4 sides are congruent. And a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides is by definition a rhombus. So is this thing a rhombus? Yes, it is. All right, part D says, based off your results from B and C, is this thing a square? So it is a rhombus. It is a rectangle. So because it is both a rectangle and a rhombus, because it is both, it has to be both, because it is both a rectangle and a rhombus, it is a square. So your answer here should have been yes, it is a square. Yes, it is a square. And then question number 11, the final question, says determine the midpoint of CD. Now, you could go back and you could do the partitioning of a segment if you would like, plot these 2 points and do it as a 1-to-1 ratio. If you like that method, that works. You could do the 1-to-1 ratio. I like to look at this a little different. I like to find the average of the x's, and I like to find the average of the y's. Well, there are only 2 x values, so I have to add them up and divide by 2. My 2 x values are -10 and +8. So I'll take -10 plus +8. -10 plus +8 is -2. I divide it by 2, which is -1. The y average, or y bar, I take my y values, 7 and 3, add them together and divide by 2. So 7 plus 3 divided by 2 is 10, divided by 2, which is 5. So find the midpoint. I'll call it M. The midpoint is the point, -1 for the x value and 5 for the y value. And again, don't forget, if you wanted to just find the change in x, so here you could find the change in x is from -10 all the way over to +8 is 18. And you want a 1-to-1 relationship, you're going to divide that by 9. I'm sorry, divide by 2, which is 9. And then I look at my change in y. It goes from 7 down to 3, so it drops down 4. divided by 2, which is -2. And then I could start at C, is at -10.7. I'm going to go down to D, which is at 8.3. There's 1 point in between. And I can say take -10, add 9. -10 plus 9 is -1. Add 9 again gives me 8. 7, subtract 2 is 5. Subtract 2 again is 3. So I could find a midpoint by doing that same process if you really like that partitioning the segment process that we do, where we find the change in x and the change in y and just divide it by the partitions. Because really a midpoint is nothing more than a partition. So hope that helps. Best of luck as you guys study, and best of luck on Friday. You guys really do deserve to do well on this one. So study hard, be ready, and have confidence. Have a great night, guys.